They say common sense is not common, but I think my own common sense went on holiday the day my husband Shegun came home with his sister. Honey, he said, dragging a small girl with an innocent face into our parlor. This is Chinwe. She is my cousin from the village. Things are very hard there. Let her stay with us for a while. Now, I'm a woman who likes peace. I didn't ask too many questions. I gave her the guest room. I bought her new clothes. I treated her like my own blood. But within 3 days, the village girl started changing. First, she stopped calling me auntie. She started calling me you. Then I noticed she only wears her shortest nightgowns when Shegun is in the parlor. When I am there, she's wearing a wrapper. When Shegun is watching football, she's wearing a spaghetti top that is screaming for help. The thing that finally blew my mind happened yesterday. I was in the kitchen frying plantain. Shegun was in the shower. I saw Chinwe sneak into our bedroom. I followed her quietly. I peeped through the door. This village girl wasn't cleaning the room. She was standing in front of my mirror, wearing my most expensive lace wig. She was spraying my 250k perfume like it was body spray. Then she picked up our wedding photo. She didn't even look at it with respect. She eased, turned the photo face down on the table and whispered, your time is always almost up. Just keep cooking for us. My heart stopped. Us? Before I could burst inside and slap the village girl out of her, I heard Shegun's voice behind me. Honey, why are you spying on my sister? Don't tell me you are jealous of a small girl from the village. Shegun wasn't looking at me with love. He was looking at me with annoyance, like I was a stranger in my own house. My husband is defending a girl he just brought from the village over his own wife. Is it my eyes that are saying things, or is this sister a snake in this? After that confrontation in the bedroom, the one where Shegun called me jealous for catching his sister using my perfume, I decided to play it cool. I stopped complaining. I started smiling. I even cooked Chinwe's favorite soup. I wanted them to think the lion was sleeping. But my people, lion no dey sleep when there is hyena in the house. Yesterday, Shegun asked me to help him move his car so the gates could be locked. He forgot his phone in the house. He forgot his guard was down. I sat in the driver's seat and my spirit told me, check that glove box. I opened it. Under the car document, I found a small brown envelope. My heart was beating like a funeral drum. I opened it. It wasn't just village paper. It wasn't a job application. It was a hospital receipt from a private clinic across town. The name on the receipt, Chinwe Shegun. And the reason for the visit, antenatal care, 4 months pregnant. 4 months? Chinwe has only been in my house for 2 weeks. The sister is carrying my husband's child, and they used my own marriage name to register at the hospital. I sat there in the cold car, shaking, but I didn't cry. The time for tears was over. I looked further into the envelope. I found a printed photo. It was Shegun and Chinwe. They weren't in the village. They were at a beach resort in Lagos. The date on the photo was from 2 years ago. This wasn't a new mistake. This was a parallel life. I heard the front door open. Shegun was coming out to check why I was taking too long. I shoved the envelope back. I wiped my face. I stepped out of the car with a fake smile. Honey, Shegun said, looking at me suspiciously. Why are you sitting in the dark? I looked him straight in the eye and said, I was just thinking about how we should celebrate Chinwe's days. She has been here for a very long time. Why don't I go to my mother's house this weekend so you can take your sister out and you guys can have fun to yourself or maybe like make a small party. The way Shagun's face lit up, he told me everything I needed to know. The trap is set. Can you imagine? 4 months pregnant and he's been with her for 2 years behind my back. I don't know what to do. Maybe I should confront them now with the receipts, or I should just wait until I catch them red handed. Friday arrived. I played my role like a Hollywood actress. I packed a small bag, kissed Shegun on the cheek, and even gave Chinwe 10,000 naira for snacks. I enjoying the house, so I told them smiling, I will be back Sunday evening. I saw them exchange a funny look, a look of the fool has finally left. I drove off. I went to a hotel nearby, checked into a room, and sat there in the dark. I wasn't crying. I was waiting. At exactly 11:30 p.m., I drove back. I didn't use the main gate. I parked at the small street and climbed the small fence. I have lived in that house for 3 years. I know every corner. I used my spare key. The parlor was smelling like expensive wine and the fried rice I had cooked before leaving. But it wasn't quiet. I heard music coming from upstairs, our bedroom. I walked up the stairs, one step at a time. My heart was pounding, but my hand was steady. I was holding my phone, already recording. I pushed the door open. My people, I have seen violence in movies, but nothing prepared me for this one. Chinwe was wearing my white wedding robe, the one Shegun bought for our honeymoon. She was sitting at my vanity, throwing my jewelry into her bag. And Shegun, he was lying on our bed, counting a thick stack of cash. Don't worry, babe, Shegun was saying, laughing. By the time that dry woman comes back, I would have convinced her to sign the house over to my sister for safety. Then we kick her out to the streets where she belongs. Chinwe turned and smiled. I can't wait to be the real Mrs. Shegun. I'm tired of playing sister from the village. It's hard to act stupid for so long. I didn't even know when I moved. I was just there. I slapped his sister so hard she fell off the stool. Shagun jumped up like he had seen a ghost. Amara, what are you doing here? Shagun shouted, his face turning from white to red. I live here, remember? I said, my voice shaking with rage, but my eyes dry. But don't worry, the antenatal receipt I found in your car, I've already sent a copy to your pastor. The video I just recorded of you planning to steal my family's house is already in my lawyer's email. Shagun didn't beg. That's the thing that hurt the most. He didn't even say, I'm sorry. He looked at me with pure hatred and said, so what? You're a barren woman, Amara. Chinwe is giving me a son. This house is mine by right. If you don't like it, pack your things and leave now. He grabbed my arm to throw me out. He forgot one thing. The house was not bought with his money. I pulled my arm back and looked at him. You want me to leave? Okay. But before I go, look out the window. Two black SUVs pulled into the compound. My father's security men stepped out. Shegun, I whispered, you brought a sister into my house. Now let me introduce you to my brothers. They are here to help you pack because you have exactly 5 minutes to leave my property before the police arrive for trespassing and fraud. The sister is a snake and the husband is a devil. Can you imagine? Calling her barren after 3 years of marriage. That wickedness is too much. Should Amara let the security men handle them roughly, or should she just let them go quietly into the night? The night I kicked Shegun and his village sister out, the neighborhood didn't just watch, they participated. I sat on my porch sipping a glass of chilled wine, watching my father's security men toss their lives into the gutter. Literally, one bag burst open and my expensive lace wig, the one Chinwe had stolen, fell right into the muddy water. She screamed and tried to grab it, but iron. My father's head of security stepped on it with his heavy boots. Oga, move, move! This house belongs to the person whose name is on the deed, and your name is not even on the gate, let alone the papers. Shegun was shouting about human rights and marriage laws, but nobody was listening. My neighbors, the ones he used to brag to, were all standing by their gate, recording the whole thing on their phone. The big man was finally naked. Violence. By Monday morning, the earthquake didn't just shake his house, it leveled his career. Shagun's bank manager position was built on reputation of my family. He didn't know that my father, Chef Obi, didn't just have money, he had memory. At 9 a.m., Shegun walked into his office ready to hide from the world, but his key card didn't work. Two security guards men he used to command blocked the door. Mr. Shegun, one of them said, barely hiding a smirk, the board of directors have has terminated your employment effective immediately. Gross misconduct and financial abuse investigation. Please leave the premises. By 11 a.m., he was standing at the bus stop with Chinwe. No sun, no AC, just the Lagos hot sun. And that was when the real gala started. Chinwe, the village girl with the innocent face, suddenly transformed. She wasn't calling him Oni anymore. She was screaming like a market woman. Is this the life you promised me? Her village accent had vanished, replaced by a sharp, street smart tone. You told me your wife was a fool. You said the mansion belongs to your father. Now look at us. I cannot suffer with you, Shegun. My real boyfriend is in Owerri. He has a better life than this misery. Shegun froze, his bags dropping into the dust. Real boyfriend? But the baby, you said you were 4 months gone. Chinwe laughed, a wicked, sharp sound that cut through the noise of the traffic. The baby. Shegun, you really are a Kolomoto. I only told you I was pregnant so you would kick your wife out and give me the house documents. There is no baby. It was a fake bump and a Photoshop receipt. I just ate too much fufu that day to make it look real. She didn't even look back. She flagged the motorcycle and left him there, standing in the middle of the road with two leaking Ghana must go bags. He lost his wife, he lost his job, he lost his home, and he realized he had been played by a girl who didn't even know his middle name. Good for Shegun. This is what is supposed to happen to all the Okoromoto men. Omo, the pregnancy was actually a scam, sha. The start was a professional Yahoo girl, and that is what Shegun did. 1 year later, they say the best revenge is living well, but in my world, the best revenge is becoming the person your enemies can only see on a billboard. I wasn't the crying wife anymore. I was the CEO of the Obi Amara Foundation, the largest maternal health center in West Africa. I was standing in front of my new building, cutting the ribbon. The cameras were flashing, the governor was clapping, and my father was beaming with pride. You see, my father whispered, a lioness doesn't need a hyena to lead her. As I walked walked to my car, a 2026 bulletproof SUV that cost more than Shegun's entire family tree. I saw a shadow near the black gate. He was wearing a shirt that had been washed so many times. It was turning transparent. His skin was ashy, and his shoes were yawning. The soles were peeling off. It was Shegun. He didn't have his sister with him. He didn't even have a friend. Amara, he whispered, stumbling forward. The security guard moved to block him, but I raised my hand. Please, I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I was blind. That girl, she took the little I had left and vanished. I've been sleeping in a church for 3 months. I didn't take off my sunglasses. I didn't want him to see even a spark of pity in my eyes. I heard you were looking for work, Shegun, I said, my voice as cold as ice. He fell to his knees right there on the hot asphalt. The cameras were still rolling in the distance. Yes, anything. I'll sweep the floors. I'll watch the ambulances. I'll even be your personal driver. Just give me a chance to be near you. I know you still love me somewhere inside. I leaned down, the smell of my 500k perfume hitting him like a reminder of everything he threw away. Shagun, look at this building. It is for women who were betrayed by men like you. You called me barren because I couldn't give you a child on your timeline. But look, I have given birth to hope for thousands of women. I am not dry, I am a fountain. I straightened my back and adjusted my blazer. And as for being my driver, I don't hire people who can't see a road map. You had a map to a golden life and you drove it straight into a gutter because of a sister from the village. My drivers needs to be focused. You are just a distraction. If you can't see how well your life is going to be, how are you going to see the road to drive me? I signaled to Ion, give him 5,000 naira for transport and a loaf of bread. Tell him to never stand near my gate again. It is bad for the brand. I entered my car and closed the door. The soundproofing was so good I couldn't even hear his cries as we drove away. My people, never let a Koromoto man make you feel small. A husband might refuse to sign for your life, but God has already signed your promotion. Amara didn't just survive, she became the standard. Omo, it is bad for the brand. I love that. Should she have given him the job or was 5,000 naira and bread enough? Me, personally, I prefer all this kind of treatment for Koromoto men out there. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. Subscribe now because the next story is about a mother-in-law who tried to poison the Sunday rice and you won't believe how she was caught. Thank you all so much for listening. Please do not forget to like, comment,